Now we're going to see them go for a little bit of engage. Oh, Mako, though, gets caught out, and Hung gets taken out. That's going to be a trade back, though, of supports. 1 for 1. Feathers fly. JJ with the Milio, not going to be able to do much else than just heal up the Aphelios, but a 1 for 1 trade. Definitely not a bad situation to be in here for LNG, considering the amount of time and presence that EDG were putting in that bot side. It's getting a very much not the kind of flow we generally see from teams this early on in the game. Normally it's kind of like, okay, you're going for Dragon, we don't want to contest it, we'll go for this, we'll go for that. But both these teams throwing everything into this bot side to try and gain priority. And again, it comes down to what both Hong and Mako said in the interview before we came into this matchup. This game is going to be won or lost from bot side, and you can see just right now they're putting in so much emphasis to make sure they can win these bot lane fights.
But considering how both of these teams played in spring, they had LP and Leave on their rosters, they were playing more towards their junglers, their mid-jungle combinations. They've taken a backseat in this game. As it stands, teleports coming in, and Dragon is the focus.
Here we go. Dragon gonna be the focus. Is gonna be a quick steal. Yes, it is. JJ does get stunned up though with the charm afterwards. Tarzan very low and taken out. Now the resets can come in. It's a great fight for EDG if they can keep going forward with it. But Scout immediately going into Uzi way wide with that Moonlight Vigil. Unfortunately for him, means he's not gonna get much else. A flash forward, but Fofo may have gone too far in. Does not get himself anything else. JJ almost getting the execute down as well. Lots of summoners burn. But at the end, it's EDG with the kills, and it's EDG with the Dragon. More than enough. Let's have a look at the replay here again. Because again, it's LNG forcing this Dragon to try and stop the stacking early on. And it's just JJ just kind of saying, look, I'm unthreatened. No one's really kind of pushing me away.
One of the other big things here is once you've used the Cozy Campfire from the Milio, it's on a very long cooldown. They don't have that for the big turnaround afterwards. Tarzan just becomes a soul to be stolen by Viego. JJ ults backwards. Maybe could have finished off Scout afterwards, but not quite able to do so. This was close, though. And you can see definitely what happens, though. When you have the Leandri's build on the Ahri, the ticking down damage on Fofo is fairly significant. He's lucky to get out of that one alive. Just about does so, though. That's a mess from LNG. No ultimate from the Xayah, really hurting them here. Using a lot of cooldowns for not that much threat from EDG. It was just a counter-strike being channeled from Ala, which forces that one out. Now suddenly, LNG they have to face off against a very early soul point from EDG, who have just coasted into this lead.
They really have. It's going to be about 24, 25 minutes soul for EDG. And when you have such a beefy front line as well with the Cassante and the Jax. Oh, never mind, Uzi! He gets caught out with a Cyclone. Not even quite sure how that happened there. And despite everything that happened in that last fight, LNG just walk up and kill him.
Scout?
Not quite. But yeah, I mean, like, this is just Uzi kind of walking forward, and then, I mean, I don't really know what quite happens. I think he just forgets, or maybe he doesn't realize how low of a cooldown some of these ultimates are.
I think that is really well timed from Tarzan to use the clone as the tower falls, because maybe you get lulled into a false sense of security saying, okay, you get the true sight coming in from the tower, you get to spot Wukong going into the clone, it falls, immediately presses clone, immediately goes on top of him.
Capitalize on what was a little bit of a false moment. JJ taken out though on the other side. Anything you can do, we can do as well. LNG going for tit for tat on the kill board. Ahead of the game. Charm goes wide. Ala putting down the counter strike. Mako taking a fair chunk and pops the heal on top of himself. And now Uzi wants to try and get rid of this Infernum. You can see he's almost got back to the red and white and really wants to fight. But not quite got that gun combination just yet. He's going to start up this Dragon. 6,000 HP. An immediate clear of the vision right now. Fofo going forward, seeing if he can catch somebody out. But these health bars are still very, very healthy. A lot of posturing for the moment, but nobody committing just yet.
Yeah, the range is not high from both teams. The AD carries are high. We're going for the smites.
They're going to go for it, but it's EDG's Uzi who confirms it now. Did he want to go for the fight afterwards? Oh, my lord, that could have been huge if it wasn't for the Milios. And now the fight can turn back in favor of LNG. They've got the Croc in the backside, and Uzi is dead. Massive ultimate from Milio, the secret MVP of that entire fight, because that counter-strike from Ala looked beautiful.
It did, but then the Renekton, we thought it timed out his usefulness in this game, ends it up with a kill like this. Started off with another couple as well. And LNG, they lose the soul, but they take the fight. They need the Baron off of this. You've given up the permanent soul of the ocean, which is very, very dangerous to play against. You'd imagine JJ picks up a kill onto Zika on this bot side, but the Baron will go down afterwards.
So unfortunate as well. I don't know exactly where the Moonlight Vigil went. JJ in a bit of a 1v1. Will win it, but while that's happening, the big purple worm's been taken down. EDG get themselves a soul. But it is LNG with the priority in this game, so we'll see what ends up being bigger, a temporary or a permanent buff.
Exactly, you need to get some really big advantages out of this from the side of LNG. There are a lot of HP stackers backed up by Lulu's shields to make the large use out of that Ocean buff. Comes down to Aphelios somehow taking that one. It wasn't with the Moonlight Vigil, just an auto attack or whatever from the Inferno after that point. Good call out on the Milio ultimate. It's a huge cleanse, saving 3 of his teammates from that one. But after this point, again, got to remind you that this is the Leandries coming out of the Ahri, which it has kind of like a Lord Dominates regards passive on it. Gives you more damage against high HP targets, which allows for Scout to get some decent damage coming across that alongside the max HP burn as well. EDG still need to be careful in these fights. I don't think Ocean Soul is a de facto win condition for them. It's very good, it's very powerful, but it's not like there isn't damage on the side of LNG between Scout and Gala.
TP going to be coming in. Do they try and fully commit to this? Whoa, Ala trying to jump in, but the Gore Drinker, the stun, the charm! And he gets baited into a false sense of security. There's even an assist for the Milio, who put it on top of the Ahri right before they went for that fight.
But what damage can they get before this? Ocean Soul, you need to hit an enemy champion to activate it. The base dragons, of course, help you a little bit, but EDG, they don't have all the regen all the time. They're pushing in mid lane, trying to get that mid priority, so they don't have to walk through one of the really skinny choke points. Here they are, here's the engage.
Zika getting caught out a little bit, but they're going straight onto Uzi, who does heal up a lot with that Severum. You can see him doing a lot of work here, but Fofo already taken so low, and Uzi dies anyway because Gala found himself on the backside untouched. Triple kill in for Gala, and the AD carry of LNG is smashing EDG in this fight.
The extra buff in play for them. You have to imagine that Baron would go down afterwards. Tarzan once again, clutch engage onto the enemy AD carry. While this is happening, Scout getting his own damage with Leandries across the team, has himself a great charm onto Ala at the end of that, which stops him being able to body block for his AD carry. It's a number of minute plays which add up together, but because of that, Uzi basically can't fight.
Look at all the pings, look at all the pings. LNG know this is going on. They're running straight to it. Dominus has been popped here for LNG. Tarzan gets himself into the pit. 4,000 though. It's a little bit early now with the Elder Drake though in favor. They're going to see if they can burn down Uzi. Fofo is dead. Gala picking up more kills. The Baron's not even close to going down. And that's going to be the massive fight back in the favor of LNG. Scout even keeps himself alive right and cozy by the campfire. And that's going to put Mako and Uzi, the last one standing, in an absolute no man's land. The Baron confirmed here for LNG. And with those 2 massive buffs, maybe Uzi can do something. He's got 200 years and a dream. But I feel like it's just an inevitability at this stage. They're cutting off the minion waves. So they have no protection. Uzi's going to have to pull off the play of plays to see if he can do it. He does dodge out from the charm. His Mako is down, though, as he tries to turn this one back. Flashes in, gets the Milio. But with the Elder, it's just not enough. Look, a valiant effort from Uzi as he tried to turn that one back in their favor. But LNG now don't care about your Dragon buff because they've got themselves 10,000 more gold than you.
You then take aggro, so he takes a couple of tower shots, has to hold himself away at that inhibitor turret. And he's not even here for most of this fight. Didn't need to be. The Elder buff is so disgusting to play against. You don't even need your entirety of your damage right here. The Baron's helping out enough. Tarzan's helping out enough, and despite things getting very bursty with the Aphelios Lulu alive towards the end of this and being able to keep themselves topped up with their own Ocean Soul, they're not able to pull off the 2v4. Gala's not there at the end of it. Uzi very close to getting 2 off the end of this.
I mean,
just not quite.
Not far off. If it wasn't for the Elder Dragon, actually, Mako probably survives. That's definitely a... I mean, this kind of is a bigger issue. Even... Oh, I'm going to stop myself. It's a lot of damage onto Ala, but we talked... Oh, great charm. As we can see, LNG is kind of knocking on the door. But for EDG, we talked about this. Yes, Uzi coming in. Very exciting.
Oh.
As, yeah, that's JJ probably going down. Uzi trying to see if he can stay alive and see if he can put out DPS, but JJ just gets caught out, and that is going to be you without a jungler, without a kind of any kind of disengage here for your team. And LNG are just kind of toying with them right now. They're too far ahead.
So Leon, they're playing well as a unit. Scout, he's kind of found the next answer to, hey, we're going to pick a tank into Ahri, she won't do damage. You can change your build to help with that. He's 4-0-7, Deathcap, Voice Staff, all the damage under the sun, and LNG looking to finally march in towards the base.
Yeah, they're looking to finish this one off. Oh, Moonlight Vigil going wide kind of puts Uzi's game into perspective. He just hasn't really been able the same impact. Here we go, though. Uzi could maybe make this one work. They're going to jump straight on top of him, though. Get the cleanse off. But look at Gala. Those feathers coming down are massive. It was all about the AD carries. It still is about the AD carries. Zika goes forward just to go into GA. They're throwing everything at the side of Uzi. Eventually, he goes down. He tried to 1v5, but it just wasn't going to happen. Now, JJ coming back in. There's a TP onto the minion. opinion. I just don't think there's any world where JJ is able to defend this, and that's going to be LNG coming out 1-0 in this best of 3.
They held the line